Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Frances Brown, and it's my great pleasure to welcome you all to our graduation ceremony in the magnificent setting of the Coates Memorial Church. This is a very special occasion, and we know you're going to have a fantastic time today, and I'm here just to give you an idea of how the ceremony will work. We'll ask you all to stand as the processions enter, and our staff enter first, followed by members of the Senate and Court, and the final procession is the Vice-Chancellor's party, led by the Bedelius carrying the university mace. We all sit when they've taken their seats at the front of the platform. After the graduation address, today given by Michelle Shoebridge, Interim Chief Operating Officer, we will be presenting Gareth Gaston for an honorary degree, and after that, the graduands will be brought forward to receive their awards. Each graduand will be called forward by the name by the Dean of their school. Now we invite everyone to applaud each one as they come onto the platform. They will then be capped, and that's just a wee doff on the head with a cap, by the Vice-Chancellor, and then they'll be hooded by the Bedelius, and then collect their certificate parchment from the registrar. Now, you will all have someone special that you're here to support today, but to us, all our graduands are special. So please give your enthusiastic applause for each and every graduand as they come onto the platform. We do ask, however, that if you could do this just once for each of them as they come up to be capped, so that we can all hear the name of the next graduand being called. When the last graduate has left the stage, there will then be a response by the honorary graduate on behalf of all those receiving an award, followed by a few closing remarks by the Vice-Chancellor. The platform party will then leave the stage and exit the church, followed by the graduates. Please stand when the platform party stands and remain standing until the graduates have left the church. After the ceremony, we would like to invite you and welcome you to attend our graduation reception over on the campus. Now, should you need any assistance at any point during the ceremony, please make yourself known to one of our marshals, and those are the people wearing the purple gowns who are at the sides and at the back of the hall. So if you can get ready, have your cameras ready, if you can switch your mobile phones onto silent, please, and we'll begin at 2:30. And above and beyond all, please have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the University of the West of Scotland, PAISLEY graduations. It's my privilege to declare this assembly for the award of academic distinctions in session.
Vice-Chancellor, Deputy Lieutenant, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, but most importantly, graduands. It's my great pleasure as Vice Principal of this university to welcome you to today's graduation. This is a really important day in your lives, and we're delighted to see so many of you here with us today. For everyone here at UWS, graduation is one of the most important days in the university calendar. Our students are the heart and soul of our university, and it's therefore a privilege and honour for my colleagues and I to share this day with you, our students, and with your families and friends. So the first thing I want to say to you is enjoy the day. Relax and make sure you get all you can out of this very special day of celebration. Graduation ceremonies should reflect the traditions of the past, but that doesn't mean they shouldn't be joyous occasions. So please feel free to shout, clap, whoop. I think we're allowed to whistle. I know it's a church, but I think we're allowed to do that as the graduands go across the stage. Now at this point, my colleagues, my male colleagues, usually have a little competition to see who can get the audience to really raise the roof. Well, as a woman, I know which competitions to engage in and which not to, because of course the Vice-Chancellor has the last say, and he's my boss and he always wins. So I'm not going to ask you to try anything, but what I want you to do is to make sure you really celebrate with your graduands today. So as they cross the stage, show them how proud you are. But from my experience of attending many graduation ceremonies over the years, I've noticed that the graduands are more frightened of walking across this stage to get their awards than anything else they've had to do whilst at university. So don't be afraid of the short walk across the stage. Remember, it's not a race. Take your time, as your friends and family will be trying to take photos as well as clap and cheer. So give them the chance to do that. Enjoy the moment. This is the time for you and your family and friends to really celebrate. Graduands, all of you sitting here today can be extremely proud of the fact that you've put in a lot of hard work and had the determination to succeed. Today, surrounded by your family and friends, you'll graduate from UWS. This is a significant accomplishment, and it shouldn't be understated. A university qualification is one of the highest academic achievements that an individual can attain, and requires not only an inquiring mind, but also dedication and commitment. As well as being a time of celebration, today also marks the start of a new chapter in your lives, a time of great opportunity, the next stage in your journey. It may be daunting for those of you who are about to enter the workplace for the first time, but I would encourage all of you, whether you're preparing to set off on the first stage or indeed the next stage of your career, to embrace the challenge and the many opportunities that will come your way. You've already shown during your time at UWS that you have the skills, knowledge, and personal attributes needed to make an impact on the world. This is your time, your opportunity to bring to life your hopes, dreams, ambitions, and aspirations. Throw yourself with passion and enthusiasm into the many opportunities that will come your way. Get out into the world, travel, broaden your horizons, and you'll do great things wherever you go. But keep in touch with us here at UWS and share your journey with us. I hope you'll look back on your time at UWS fondly and encourage and inspire others to follow in your footsteps. For those of you who've come to UWS from elsewhere in the UK or from overseas, I hope you've enjoyed your time with us and that you now have a passion not just for UWS, but for Scotland too. One of the real privileges of my job is I get the opportunity to meet students from across the university and to hear about their different and very often inspiring learning journeys. Whatever challenges you've had to overcome to get here today, you all have one thing in common, a positive mindset to succeed and expand your knowledge. This mindset means facing the challenges we all undoubtedly face in life with positivity and determination, and to view the tough things we do in life not as sacrifices, but as choices. Now, I'm passionate about the importance of professional and personal development, and I want to encourage you to invest in yourselves. I know that will be a challenge, but make sure you find time to reflect on what you're doing and what you could be doing next. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day race of life, but from time to time, make sure you do reflect. And don't forget that we're here to support you through your lifelong journey, whether it's a progression to masters or a doctoral degree, or indeed a professional program. Like many universities, we're heavily involved in supporting the health and well-being of staff and students. And as a sportswoman, I'm pleased to see that this is often through sport. At UWS, we're passionate about student sporting excellence and recognise the increasing importance of sports in the life of the university and its students. We actively support a number of hugely talented sportsmen and women to ensure they're able to combine their studies here at UWS with competing at the highest sporting level. And it's great to see the success of some of our students. For example, one of our Glasgow 2014 athletes, badminton player Rebecca Finlay, represented Team GB in the World University Games in Korea in July this year. And UWS Sports Scholarship recipient Callum Hawkins followed up being second best placed British athlete to Mo Farah in the Great North Run by running the third fastest time ever by a Scot in the Great Scottish Run. Callum is targeting a place at next year's Olympics in the marathon, and the entire university community wishes him well, and we're extremely proud of his achievements. But sport is important not just for those who are performing at regional and international levels, but also for those who are keen to do more to meet like-minded peers, enhance their fitness and well-being, and to take up something new for their own enjoyment. We want our students to have fun, and while that may be through sport, it might also be through activities such as volunteering or citizenship. Such activities ensure that they have a more rounded education and leave UWS with a range of transferable skills and impressive graduate attributes. Now, one of my roles today is to give a few examples of lessons in life, but I'm not sure how significant my advice will be because each of us follow a very personal journey and no one experience is better than the other. If I think back to the time when I gained my undergraduate degree, I realised that I didn't really understand what life might offer. And across your life, you will have a range of successes, but you'll also have other less successful and more challenging experiences. And life is not about everything going smoothly. It's about how you deal with the times and learn from them that will make you stronger, more resilient, and a more successful person. Your true capability is determined not by your successes, or not only by your successes, but by how you cope with adversity and whether you have the capability to bounce back. Now, as you can probably tell from my accent, I wasn't born in Scotland. I grew up in Liverpool. I attended an inner-city comprehensive school, and at the age of 18, went to a teacher training college to become a physical education teacher. At that time, I thought it was the pinnacle of my career, and actually, from the age of 5, it was all I ever wanted to do. At that point, if you described my future career to me, which has included many years in higher education, I wouldn't have believed you. But you never know where you can end up and what you might be privileged to do. And this is my point. This is the start of your journey, and the opportunities available to you are endless. Grasp them as they're offered and seize every opportunity that comes your way. Whatever you decide to do after you leave here, you now have a platform to go out and make a real and lasting impact on the world. Always strive to be the best you can be, however hard that might be. I believe that if you use the same willpower that has seen you successfully complete your studies at UWS, you can achieve those goals and ambitions you have for the future. Never stop chasing your dreams and never give up. You will all be alumni of this university and honorary members of UWS Alumni Association. Use the association to network, to stay in touch with friends, and to stay in touch with us at the university. We'll soon be emailing you to tell you more, and I very much hope that you'll be proud of your connection with UWS and remain in regular contact with us as part of the UWS family. We already have a number of successful alumni, and we want to add you to that number. For example, Les Hutchinson is a successful businessman and entrepreneur, and Neil Harrow is now an assistant coach of a major American basketball team. And this November, we're delighted to be able to recognise the success of two other successful alumni, Harry Papadopoulos and Gareth Gaston. Harry, who studied electrical engineering with us in the early 70s, is best known for his hugely important contribution to music photography in the 1980s, and he was honoured by UWS at our ceremony yesterday. Gareth Gaston, who graduated in the 90s, leads the virtual banking division of one of the largest banks in the United States, and he will receive his honorary doctorate today. Behind every successful graduate is an important support team, and they're here with you today, your friends and family. And it's only right that they join you in the celebration, as I know how invaluable their support can be in helping you through the ups and downs that come with studying a university qualification. Your family and friends will be immensely proud of you, and you can't imagine the relief that they're experiencing today as the result of you successfully completing a degree. So, on behalf of my colleagues, I'd like to wish every one of you a very happy and enjoyable day, and to our graduates, great success, health and happiness for the future. We're immensely proud of you all. To the class of 2015, it's now time to open the doors and let your dreams begin. Be the best you can be and make a difference. Congratulations to you all.
Vice-Chancellor, it's my privilege to present to you for the honorary degree of Doctor of the University, Gareth Gaston. In the days before Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, eBay, and even Internet Explorer, some 2 decades ago, Gareth sat on one of the same seats that all of you are sitting on right now. Possibly, he was just as nervous as you are about walking across this stage to collect his degree. For sure, he was reflecting on 4 years spent at the University of PAISLEY, a forerunner of the University of West of Scotland. And he was definitely looking forward with excitement, some trepidation, and full of energy to embrace the world of work with his freshly obtained degree in marketing. Gareth was born and brought up in Kirkintilloch, went to school at Kelvinside Academy, and is a graduate of our university, having studied a BA Marketing sandwich degree in those buildings right across the road over there. The sandwich element to this degree meant that, as part of his studies, he spent 1 year working with a company. In Gareth's case, the company was Stakis Hotels, an experience which was to set much of his future career path. And as well as his studies at our university, Gareth focused on developing his leadership through his extracurricular activities. For example, he rose through the ranks of Glasgow and Strathclyde University's Officer Training Corps, and also was president of the Sicilian Society, an amateur dramatics club based at Glasgow University. From the very first year of his marketing degree, Gareth tells us that he still remembers and applies what he learned. In fact, he tells me that Philip Kotler's famous marketing textbook is still on his desk today as a reference. Almost exactly 19 years ago, on the 8th of November, 1996, Gareth completed his studies, graduated, and became an alumnus of this university. It's a journey that started here in Paisley and has ended up in California via working locations such as London, New Jersey, Dallas, Los Angeles, and Tokyo. But his Scottish roots remain clear and present, and still on his CV, he proudly states that he was born and raised in Scotland. Throughout his career journey, Gareth has been at the forefront of technology change in businesses and has provided extensive leadership and drive in digital marketing and e-commerce since its inception as a key business driver in the mid to late 1990s. On completing his studies, Gareth first returned to the company with which he had completed his sandwich year, Stackis Hotels. There, he was the first electronic marketing manager, an innovative position back in 1996. And in that role, he built the company's first and then their successive websites. When Stackis was acquired by Hilton Hotels, he was promoted to Director of Distribution for the United Kingdom and Ireland, based in London for 2 years, before moving over the next 5 years to lead on e-business in Los Angeles, Tokyo, and then back to London again as Director of Online Retailing and Marketing. Note for graduates, as you develop your careers from here, make sure your passport's up to date. Gareth then moved to work for another UK hotel company at the time, Ramada Jarvis Hotels, where he became Head of Distribution and Commerce. In 2008, he became the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of OctopusTravel.com. His challenge was to turn around a declining company, and Gareth led that change, again driven by new technology as it started to radically grow the company, against the prevailing industry trend and economy. Building further on his expertise and experience in global e-commerce, Gareth moved to the United States in 2010 to become the Senior Vice President of the Wyndham Hotel Group, the world's largest hotel company. Here, his full responsibility was for the global e-commerce business across some 7,000 hotels. And just last year, in April 2014, Gareth embraced a further challenge of moving sectors, transferring his skills and knowledge in technology from the hospitality sector to financial services. Gareth now works for US Bank, which is the 5th largest bank in the United States. He's responsible for over 2,000 people and a multi-billion-dollar revenue book of business, with a key leadership role in a rapidly growing function as the banking industry becomes the latest to ride the wave of digital change. In 2 decades of work, or nearly 2 decades of work since graduation, Gareth has an impressive list of achievements. By way of example, in the year 2000, he won the Acorn Award as part of the top 30 under 30-year-olds in the UK hospitality industry. In 2012, Gareth was awarded the prestigious Hospitality Sales and Marketing Award for the 25 most extraordinary minds in sales and marketing. He was commissioned as a 2nd Lieutenant in the UK Infantry Reserves as part of the Glasgow and Strathclyde University's Officer Training Corps, having been a cadet from the age of 14. He also then became a platoon commander in the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders. He has undertaken further learning and development, including courses on leadership, commercial behaviour, and undertaking an executive MBA on a programme ranked as the #1 global executive MBA programme by the Financial Times. His thirst for learning and continual professional development was certainly not left behind in Paisley in 1996. Gareth has also contributed to the global development of his industries, giving something back by speaking at and chairing many industry and online conferences, and sitting on industry advisory councils, including those of the United Nations. If you stop to think how technology has changed over the past 20 years since Gareth graduated in this very church, how different it is now and what challenges it has presented, and now also reflect on how Gareth has grown and adapted to all these changes, leading the development and opportunities within this rapidly changing and adapting world. And also please reflect on the various changes in career Gareth has had. Was anyone counting? It was 8 major roles in just over 19 years. That's an average of 28 months per post. It just shows that you have to be adaptable, flexible, and to seize opportunities as they come along, building your career and experience in a rapidly changing world. No longer is it the case of only 1 or 2 careers in a lifetime. Please also reflect on the fact that, as Gareth has done, in order to support a dynamic career, you need to embrace continual professional and personal learning, along with networking across and giving back to your chosen industry. And a final reflection on Gareth's journey to date is that there may well be a need for all of us to embrace the challenges and opportunities of moving from one industry sector to another and not being afraid to do so. as Gareth has done after 18 years in hotels and then moving to the financial industry for the past 18 months. For me, it's been a great pleasure to meet Gareth and some of his family and friends here in Scotland today, where he is visiting for only a week. I know that Gareth's wife and children are watching our live stream over in San Francisco and Glasgow Circle. Must have been a very early start for them, just north of San Francisco. I hope that they too will enjoy seeing Gareth being recognised here today. From all of this, you will now perhaps get an idea as to why we are extremely proud of Gareth as a graduate of our university, proud of his contribution to his industries, and indeed proud of Gareth as an exemplar of our university's aspirations for our students to be successful, global and dynamic, as set out in our corporate strategy. Accordingly, Vice-Chancellor, I would now present to you for the award of Honorary degree of Doctor of the University, Gareth Gaston.
Vice-Chancellor, on behalf of the School of Business and Enterprise, I present to you for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis entitled The Paisley Shawl Loom, a study of the draw loom as adapted and developed for the weaving of Paisley shawls during the first half of the 19th century, David Coughlin. And with a thesis entitled Development of an Indicator Set to Determine Sustainability on the Individual Level, Kira Gisiku. And with a thesis entitled The Role of Foreign Direct Investment in Economic Growth at Macro and Micro Levels in Nigeria, Namika Nathaniel Abasi. And with a thesis entitled Cultural Hijack, Critical Perspectives on Urban Art Intervention, Benjamin James Parry. And with a thesis entitled The Relationship Between Banking Development and Economic Growth in China, Xuanwei Wang. And for the degree of Master of Science, Financial Accounting with distinction, and winner of the Court Medal, Mahama Lakshmi Amhekari Paralusi. and for the degree of Master of Science, Financial Accounting with distinction, Mohammed Kazim Ali Sheikh. And for the degree of Master of Science, Logistics and Supply Chain Management with distinction, Emmanuel Akwasawa. And for the degree of Master of Science, Logistics and Supply Chain Management, Rajiro Goma. Katrina Elizabeth Salko. Biram Tum. And for the degree of Master of Science, Management Accounting, B.B. Lee. And for the degree of Bachelor of Accounting, Sandwich Award with Honours, Voshchek Kards Shachinsky. And for the degree of Bachelor of Accounting with Honours, Matthew Tijan Cameron. Scott Angus Gillis. Oliver Henry. Pamela Sarah Elizabeth Howson. Malusi Ebony. Nazish Imothy. Cheryl Matheson. Sally Stephen Sloan. Irfan Udin. Lindsay Elizabeth Watson. Aileen Wilson. Sophie Margaret Yakubian. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts Business with First Class Honours, Alan James Ewing Caldecott. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts Business with Honours, John Andrew Douglas. Boan Howe. Yassine Harouni. Julia Sharapova. Amy Marie O'Brien Walker. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts Business Studies with Honours, Tanya Mumba Katenge. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts Events Management with Honours, Natalia Bratic. Lauren Connolly. Karen Louise Harrower. Timothy John Marshall. Lewis McCloy. Joanne Mooney. Joanna Louise Morris. Nicola Leslie Patton. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts Law with Honours, Nisha Abassi. Caroline Miller Erskine. Amy Catherine McMillan. Harley James Wilkie. And for the degree of Bachelor of Accounting, with distinction, the following students: Paula Marie Francis. Jacqueline Jean Marie McGregor. And for the degree of Bachelor of Accounting, Amina Ali. Paula Louise Collins. Megan Fullerton. Elaine Gilmer. Bruce Gomwe. Janet Harris. Fraser Hay. Amarin Khan. Nicola Sheena Maxwell. Hazel Rachel Milia. Marina Mehmet. Graham Sutherland. Mathilde Awura Kundo Rura Agara Gaza. Laritza Diaz Miranda Walsh. Alison Louise Delacourt Wilson. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts Business with distinction, the following students: Sharon Breckenbridge. Arlene Teresa Dugan. Natalie Irvin. Fiona Jane Morton. Marianne Catherine Stevenson. Julita Schultz. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts Business, Marine Ali. Fan Bao. Huidan Deng. Waishin Go. Sadakat Hassan. Nathan Jessimer. Liman Jai. Nicola Catherine Jones. John George Kennedy Bennett. Huan Li Lee. Lucy McKenna. Hussein Nawaz. Julie Jean Christine Noguera. Joanne Campbell Ross. Victoria Smith. Shangzhou Chang. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Business and English Language with distinction, Kinza Said. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Business and English Language, Sitong Chen. Victoria Poinsett. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Events Management with distinction, Maud van de Velde. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Events Management, Brian Borland. Megan Houston. Laureline Dominique La Planta. Christopher Elder Craig McConnell. Emma Sinclair. Rebecca Spears. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Human Resource Management, Susan McChesney. Deborah MacDonald. Caroline McClardy. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts Law, Dania Aboud. Aisha Ukhtar. Robab Hussein Ali. Gemma Downey. Reza Jahinger Colvin. Jacqueline Helen Murdoch. Shireen Razak. Hannah Rose Simmons. Rosalind Sweeney. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts Law with German, Robin Langley Mackenzie. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts Management, Alexander Niki. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts Marketing, Colin Hogan. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts Tourism Management, Sumi Kabir. Harwinder Kaur. Victoria Frances McCabe. And finally, Andrew Robertson.
Vice-Chancellor, Deputy Lieutenant, graduates, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'll get to the thank yous in a moment, and I'll reflect on the honour that is my doctorate shortly. First of all, I want to focus on the most important people in the room today, you, the graduating students. I could not be more thrilled for you. What an incredibly exciting time of your life. When I sat where you are 20 years ago, the World Wide Web was in its first year. A cool mobile phone was made by Nokia and the size of a small brick. Industries were fragmented, China was not yet in the World Trade Organization, and Scotland hadn't won Wimbledon for 100 years because Andy Murray was only 8. The world has never been more exciting. It's more global, more connected, and the Internet of Things has barely begun 20 years after the web has launched. How cool is that? Think about it. You used to call a taxi and then pace around the living room wondering why it was taking more than 5 minutes. Now you can watch the taxi on Uber take the wrong way to your house and curse in it at real time. When you thought about something you were going to buy, you had to figure out where to get it and what day you were going to go to the shops. Now I have one-click order and next-day delivery from Amazon. Before I had to call 5 hotels to check prices and rely on some star rating. Now I can go to TripAdvisor and see what hotel thousands of people rate as #1 and where the cheapest place to book that hotel is. I can set my central heating from my phone on the other side of the world, see my heart rate on my watch, watch a movie anytime, anywhere, and play Candy Crush when I've done all that. And it's barely started. And you get to change it all over again. Knock, knock. That's the sound of opportunity knocking on your door. Graduating got you the knock at the door. The even scarier prospect is answering the door and saying yes to that opportunity. And that really has been the main theme of my career. I never had a plan that led me to where I am today. I basically just said yes more times than I said no, and it led me to some weird and wonderful places. I've also had a couple of guiding principles and a couple of lessons learned that I'd like to share with you. The first guiding principle is I've always wanted to lead people and organizations. I actively seek leadership opportunities and make it the best I can. But leadership is not for everyone, and that's completely okay. I actually think the most important decision you can make in your career is if you want to lead, or manage, or be an individual contributor. All three are completely fine. Just make your decision and make peace with it as soon as you can. Second principle is picking your passion. I was lucky enough to find the World Wide Web when I was doing my sandwich degree here at PAISLEY. I fell in love with digital. I saw it as the main future force for business, and I've used that to fuel all my opportunities. Really though, it's not about digital, it's about passion. Find what you can get excited about, then do that. success will follow. The two most important lessons I've learned to date in my career are interestingly a little opposing. The first is personal development and self-awareness. It's always about you. You just can't change other people. For years, I really thought I could. And as soon as I realized to change others, I needed to change myself, the sooner I saw people open up to me. So it's always about you. The second lesson is the company is bigger than you, so it's never about you. It's hard in these early days of your career to prioritize the company over you. I would say the key to success is to find a company you believe in and really analyze what the customers of that company want, and then focus relentlessly on delivering that. Not what you think they want or what you believe. Really, truly focus on the customer and put yourself second. It's harder than you think. Success will come from keeping your eye on the game and not on the scoreboard. So it's never about you. So here we are at the beginning of the next chapter of your life. Let's thank those that have helped you get this far. Your family and friends who have supported you and stood by you. The professors, lecturers, academic and support staff at this fine institution. I have been so impressed by the growth and progress of the university since I was here, and I'm thrilled to be reconnected. I'm not surprised the university is going from strength to strength, as every member of staff I've encountered has been helpful, dedicated, warm, and open. And Professor Mahoney, I know that's your leadership. Finally, my own thanks. This honorary doctorate degree is truly the most humbling experience of my life. I never expected this, and I'm very grateful. Thank you for thinking of me for this award. And then particular thanks to my family here today. My mum, Myra, the teacher who inspires my confidence in my learning. My sister, Yvonne, who I look up to as the smart one in the family. My aunt who inspired me to be a performer, Katie. And my late father, Lex, the entrepreneur and straight talker. And of course, my wife, Victoria, and two boys watching on YouTube from California. You're my reason for everything. And then my friends who keep me grounded. Right, lads? Congratulations, graduates. Open that door when opportunity knocks, then go get 'em. Thank you.
Well, that's quite a hard act to follow. I normally say a few words at the end, but I'm not sure what I can say today. We've had two, I think, very impressive commentaries, one from my colleague Jean, telling us what to look forward to as we graduate and move into the world, and Gareth giving us a wonderful summary of life and career as it has been for him, which is in the hands of our graduates sitting at the back of the room today. So I should say something, and I'll say a few things. Graduation ceremonies are always a great pride and a great joy for us to be involved in. We see the culmination of people having worked hard for a number of years, coming up to receive their award and move on in life. And for many of you, it's an emotional experience, as I see that in some of you. You may be wondering why I chose to hug one of the students today. I don't always do that. That student graduating today is in fact a member of staff. And today we've had the privilege of graduating, I think, about 4 or 5 members of staff, those who are working in the institution but also studying to do a degree. And we believe very strongly in the principle of lifelong learning, something which Jean will have spoken about. Gareth has also made comment of that with his own career, that the process of life is a learning process. And whether that's formalised through a university or whether it's done in some other way doesn't actually matter. But life is about a learning process. And it's a great delight for me watching the students come up to graduate today, seeing the range of ages that they represent. There are 16,000 students at UWS. More than 4,000 of those are aged over 30. I know last week that we had a student graduating on a Hamilton campus who was in his 70s. And we're very proud of the fact that people want to come back and keep doing further study with us throughout their career. So for those of you who are sitting here today who were thinking, well, could I do that? The answer is yes. We will register you on the way out if you wish to. And certainly the young children in the audience today, I'm always delighted to see young people around. I think the youngest member of the audience today is only 3 weeks old over here. In fact, it's Gareth's niece, who was born just 3 weeks ago. But there may be others who are slightly younger, I just don't know. But it's great to see the kids in here, and I hope you've enjoyed yourself. You've behaved yourself exceptionally well. Your parents, I'm sure, are very proud of you. They're probably quite stressed and can't wait to get out of here. To the graduates, have a great career. We hope you'll keep in contact with us. We welcome you becoming part of our Alumni Association and being in contact either with the university or the staff in the university over the remainder of your career and life, and we do hope that you'll take advantage of that. So in closing this ceremony, it remains for me only to say, please come back across to the Brough Hall on the main campus where there is a reception available for you all. It will be a bit wet and damp outside. I know that you like to take photographs in and around the church. Please do that, inside and out, but be very careful outside where it is quite treacherously slippery and wet. I declare this ceremony closed.